So today is, I think, December 16th. It's about 10:46 p.m. The old lady and the babies are in there sleeping soundly. I got John picking me up at midnight to make it to I think this 12:40 a.m. bus. I think there's one at 12:40, one at 1:20. Ride that bus back down to Cebu City to start my journey to the other side of the world, to the USA. I think my flight plan: Cebu to Narita, Narita to Denver, Denver to Memphis. And basically I'm headed back to where I'm from. Originally from Tupelo, Mississippi. Actually a little small town. About 30 minutes from there. So when I say I'm from the backwoods of Mississippi, not exaggerating. Grew up on a dirt road, red dirt road, back in the pines. So, it takes a while to get there. The toughest thing for me is that, about 5 hour bus ride from here down to Cebu City. Obviously, it's much easier if I spend the night, but then you're dragging bags in the hotel, out of the hotel. My flight's in the morning. I need to be there at like 6:30. So I just said, you know what, I'm just gonna ride that bus all night. But the bus ride itself is, I don't want to say it's grueling, but man, I've rode that bus so many times up and down from Cebu City up here to the northern part of Cebu province so many times since 2013. I think it was the first time I ventured up this way. It's just too long of a ride to be riding. It's not bad in the middle of the night right now because there's no traffic. It's the best time to go. Obviously that's the best time to travel anywhere to get away from the traffic, but in the Philippines and around Cebu, Manila, you really have to travel at 1 in the morning. It's the only way your stress level just doesn't get elevated, Anyhow, so I'm headed down there to start this journey. Like a 5 hour flight, then a 10 hour flight, then I don't remember what the last leg, but it's like I've went around the world so many times now. It's just sort of it's like the bus ride. It's like a nuisance. When I look down and see 10-hour flight, that's nothing. You know what I mean? That's not even, it's nothing. 5 hours, that's just like a commute. But it's lost. Travel has lost some of the mystery, the mystique, the romance. I guess like anything, you just get tired of it. It gets monotonous and it's just not exciting like it used to be. Maybe I forced myself to try out some new places just to see if I get that feeling back, but it's not adventurous. You know what I mean? I don't feel like I'm exploring anymore or going on some type of unknown adventure. It's just so, I don't know, like the only adventure for me would be if I go to the moon or to Mars. That would be an adventure. That would be exploring. So anyhow, I'm probably just going to bring this little camera right here, this camera when did I get it? 2012. Anyhow, this old little tiny Sony camera that just refuses to quit because it's so small. You know, I don't have an iPhone anymore to film on. I got this junk Android. I don't even know how to get the camera running. So it's kind of crazy because I have an FX3 and, you know, a proper camcorder in the bag, but I just don't put the effort in to get the big cameras out and deal with the hassle of people looking at you and the extra added attention. It's just so much easier to talk to this little camera. I don't know if I'll add to this. I really don't. There's enough doom and gloom in the world. Like, why add to it, right? Why add to it? Certain things. Obviously, y'all see a big portion of my life, but you don't see everything. So again, I don't even know if this will make it. I've got an idea of how, you know, when I'm in the States, what I can do to put a few shows together, a few videos together that probably be interesting, have a little air of mystery about it. A little bit of comedy. I'm gonna do my best. But I said, you know what? Let me sit down and let me just sit down and talk to you guys, talk to y'all out there. You fine folks that choose to watch our show and listen to my voice. I certainly appreciate you. And maybe later on, I sit down and do a video and explain about what I was doing in America. You know, when I go to these places, I make these trips, sometimes you don't see the why. Why am I there? You know I'm there. You know I'm there. You know I'm doing a show, filming a video, what have you, but a lot of times there's a reason that I'm there in the show or the video. Or walking up and down a beach is just like the side effect and the joy of this business. You know, I mean, for example, okay, I'm sitting there in New Mexico a couple years ago filming. Was I just passing through, or was there a purpose while I was in New Mexico and I just did some videos as if I were passing through? See, sort of that's the part that, you know, I don't feel compelled to explain anything to anybody, but certain things, you know, everything doesn't get explained. But anyhow, I'll put a few clips together. Maybe put this video in the can by the time I get there, and then I'll sit on it and see if I want to film, see if I want to post it. And the reason that I'm headed over to the States. Anyhow, there you go. I thought I'd lay down the foundation. About to go from Cebu to Tupelo. It's like a whole different world. Just a couple strange things that I'll share with you. You know, I just got back from Thailand not too long ago. When I was in my ukai shop, for whatever reason, I mean, I'm in the tropics. It's hot, obviously. And for some reason, I just got on this kick of buying the ladies some hoodies. Now, they're pretty good quality, and it was an excellent deal. A couple bucks. How can you pass that up, you know? I stumble across a bunch of shirts like this. You know, this is a Japanese 100% cotton, like brand new. You know, $2. How could I pass it up? Real thick quality. Bought a bunch of corduroy shirts. And even y'all viewers out there, like, hey man, why you dressing like it's winter? You dressing like you're a plantation owner back in the 1800s, man. It's hot over there. Why you wearing pants and long shirts? Well, number one, I like the style, but the question is, why did I just all of a sudden go into that store and buy clothes that I needed for this trip because it's cold where I'm going. But the thing about it is, I didn't know I was going on this trip. That's the thing that makes you go, I came back from Thailand with like 5 or 6 thick, long sleeve, sort of fall, winter attire. And shortly thereafter, I find out I have to go on this trip. Anyhow, had I not, I think I got one long sleeve. Yeah, I wasn't prepared. Now I got 5 or 6 shirts for the cold weather. Just kind of strange. I'm gonna miss leaving the children, obviously. You know, especially when every time I go to leave, you know, Maria's so sweet to me. She's just the absolute most wonderful daughter that anybody could ever ask for. She really is. I mean, she just, when she finds out I'm going, she's like, you know, Dad, I really don't want you to go. You know, can you just stay here? She tries to talk me out of going. You know, it's just so damn sweet. I say frequently that, you know, my daughter is, all the time I say, my daughter's the only Filipina who truly loves me. But I sit there and have to expand my horizon, and she's probably the only girl on the face of this planet that truly loves me. That makes it even more I don't know what the word I'm looking for. Just makes it harder to go, harder to step off, because she cares about me that much to try to talk me out of going. You think anybody else around here gives a shit if I go? Ain't no tears lost when I leave here. You want to be straight up with you. Ain't no tears. It's like the minute before I even step foot on that bus, on that first step, it's like Risky Business. You ever seen that movie? You know, it's like Risky Business back here at my crib the minute I leave, if you want to know the truth. And my son senses it too. Because, you know, even though, I don't say even though, my son is autistic. He's nonverbal. He doesn't talk yet. But he senses it as well because he sees the routine and he sees the suitcases. And when he sees me messing with those suitcases and those suitcases getting zipped up, he knows too. He knows I'm leaving as well. And his behavior is a little different. It's just so damn sweet. It's just so damn sweet to know that your children love you. They pay attention. They're cognizant of the fact that you're going to be gone for a while. And they don't want you to go. And you know, I tell my daughter this all the time. I said, listen, there's times when Papa's going to have to go either handle business or maybe I have to go work somewhere for several months. I got to go visit family. But as long as I'm alive, I promise you I'm coming back. I will never leave you. I will never run away. You don't ever have to worry about that. And I make sure she knows that. And she still tries to talk me out of going, but she knows. She knows 100%. It's not the fear that I'm never going to come back. It's just she truly doesn't want me to go because she misses me. But she knows. She knows that her daddy ain't going nowhere unless they put me in the ground. But you know, there's so many kids in the world. My goodness, so many around here that don't have fathers in their lives. They never did. You know, Tonyo usually bugs out when the first bill comes in for any type of, clinic, checkup, need vitamins, whatever, prenatal vitamins, dude's out of here. That's when he bugs out. The first time they ask him for money for something with the pregnancy, he's gone. So there's a lot of little girls that she's known. Obviously, they don't have fathers in their lives, but that's something she doesn't have to worry about, will ever have to worry about. All right. Enough of that'll pour my heart out to the lens here, to you, the viewer. I feel much better. This lens is my therapy. You listen to my voice. That's the therapy for me. I don't have to hire a shrink or go to a hospital, check into a clinic. I get pissed off about something, upset, disappointed. Sad. I just start talking to y'all. And I feel much better after I do. That's the old lady trying to contact her sister via radio across the cow pasture. We're having little hiccups in the internet, which our internet's great, not complaining, but every now and then there's interruptions, obviously, like anywhere else in the world. So make sure they're up on the radio, because if the internet's down, you can't call them. So they made comms earlier, but nobody is responding, so they either sleeping real hard, turn the radio off. But the thing about where we're at is at night there's no transportation. There is in town, but town takes me 15 minutes of walking to get there. So if John John's ass don't wake up and pick me up at midnight, I gotta mow and Joe it all the way to town and try to rustle up a motorbike taxi, come back here and get these bags, and there's really too many bags to go on the motorbike. So I'm really dependent upon John picking me up at midnight. And he's usually Johnny on the spot, but you never know. Young guys get to hit the red horse at night. Not that he drinks too much. I'm just saying, if he doesn't show up, I gotta start this around the world journey by mowing Joe in it, lefty and righty, picking them up, putting them down, heading into town to get me some transportation to the bus station. But if everything goes as planned on any trip, it's really not an adventure. A trip starts becoming an adventure, I guess, when you venture off into the unknown, things start going wrong, and then you suddenly start having stories to tell. But if all my flights are on time, where's the story in that? There's no story. You never remember it. If you miss a flight, you're going to remember that shit. If your flight's 3 hours late, you're going to be madder than hell, but you'll never forget that day. Somebody loses your luggage, you're not going to forget that shit either. But how many flights you've been on where there was nothing eventful, everything went smooth, those memories just whoosh, not worth remembering? Damn, I think I probably already talked 20 minutes. I can't tell a short story. Alright, folks. I'll update you when something goes down. When either John arrives or I'm huffing and puffing it to town. Alright, it's a little bit before midnight. And headed out. The neighbors next door, all sitting out there because they got a funeral going on. At a desk, they're out there, eating and playing cards. One dude's passed out on the table. So anyhow, headed into town. There's a E250 parked out front.
11. Let's see if there's a van out here. Yeah, I don't know. Alright, so I'm on station already. That was probably one of the quickest van rides. There was no traffic. And the driver was going like a NASCAR driver, got us here very quickly. I just give you a look at the ceiling here. It's like a particle board, obviously with the exposed utilities, but it's still pretty. Here at Terminal 2 in Cebu. There's my pack plan. I got my rolling briefcase, suitcase, and aviator's kit bag. This little airport is so nice. I'm here hours early. They don't give me any problems about coming in. But this hour, the only thing open is that Island Souvenirs over there. The Rataza is not open yet. Spot right there. But I don't know if Island Souvenirs has any drinks or not. It's a totally different experience now that I stopped drinking. Usually wherever I go, once I get there, what am I looking for? Looking for a beer. I don't have that mission. The aircon's here in this little terminal kicking. I mean, it is cold in here. It's cold, but like most of the times I go through Manila, it's like a sweat box. Aircons can't keep up. But if you come here to Terminal 2, at least at night, it's cold in here. Bring you some long sleeves or long pants or something to wrap up with. I'm about to put my blazer on, it's so cold, which is a good thing. Most of the time I'm sweating in airports in this country. So they're doing this dance over here, singing Last Christmas gave you my heart, and the very next day gave it away. Beautiful ladies. I think we'll pull you over there. What a wonderful way to start the morning. Absolutely lovely. You can sit there and watch and listen to them. Just positively, just happy to be alive, happy to have a job. They're obviously going to do some type of dance somewhere. Anyhow, what a lovely start to the morning. So I don't know how you guys defeat the weight gain, right? But like, I have this rolling briefcase here that I got in 2020 at a Goodwill store. I got this thing at Goodwill, and I got one more Samsonite, so I got like 3 pieces at Goodwill for dirt cheap. The Samsonite makes some good gear. This thing's like, they're like brand new. This thing's a champion. But the problem is, I load it up with my cameras and my laptop and everything. Then I get up there, it's overweight every time. Nothing against the bag, but you know, you put one laptop, one camera, and one iPad, it's overweight. So I take my leather briefcase here. This is a Champion here. And of course it's got a strap. So I load up all my laptops, iPads, all the heavy shit in here. The batteries, all that good stuff. I go up there with this thing basically empty. You know, put it on the scale. As soon as we're done, transfer all this heavy crap back into the rolling bag, and all is well. But it's like, you get tired of playing that game. It's so silly, right? It's just absolute silliness, because they never weigh this. This is my personal, like, purse, right? And women get a big old purse. I carry this beautiful leather briefcase Links down in the description. It's got a 100-year warranty. And another thing I do, I'm carrying a Pelican case. But like, especially in Southeast Asia, you roll with a Pelican case, there's too many questions. There's questions, they want to look inside of it, what you got in there. And so the way I've easily defeated answering any questions about my Pelican case is I just put it in an aviator's kit bag and then problem solved. I threw some boots in there, whatever, sort of to break up the silhouette. But if you don't want extra scrutiny by the airline people and plus the thieves, if there are any, I just put the Pelican locked inside the aviator's kit bag. There's no questions. And this doesn't add any extra weight. And also, if you end up having to transfer stuff to here, you know, because my Pelican case is packed full, you know, I can shove some more stuff in here. Or I can use this as a separate bag. Worst case scenario, right? Anyhow, just got tired of answering questions about my Pelican case. And when you're all carrying camera gear, oh, the other thing too, if that's overweight, I just pull one camera out and hang it, you know, hang it on my neck like I'm a tourist. It's still overweight. I pull the second one out and sling it. What are they gonna say? And once you get done, just put everything back in there. Don't get upset. Just play the game. That's how I play the game. So I don't know how y'all do it, but that's how I do it. With my Goodwill acquisitions. Man, that was it. That was a steal finding that Samsonite at Goodwill. There's a bird right there. Take me over to Japan. Going to Narita. I guess they didn't put enough gas in the plane, so they're gonna pull a fuel truck. Pull the fuel truck right up to us, top off the tanks, I reckon. Can't make this up. Wouldn't be an adventure if everything went your way. It's starting out an adventure when you don't got enough gas in it. Look for a fuel truck. Alright, fill her up. Fill her up, fella.
By maintenance, but if they're going to defer it, you spend some time out there on the ramp burning a little bit of gas. So we're going to add a little more gas, and we'll get the paperwork. We'll get the paperwork all in order and push back and get back on the plane to Narita.
So the pitot tube issue can be deferred since we're not going to be in icing conditions. So it's the de-icing of the pitot tubes that don't work.
Welcome you to Tokyo Narita Airport, where the local time is 3:55.
Man, the rising sun. Gates. It is cold out here. My gosh, this wind. Look at this. It's cold up in Denver. There is no doubt. Wow. It is windy. It is cold. Brisk. Yeah, this is too cool. You even got boards out here. Looks like they have a place to barbecue or bar, but it is so freaking windy. You can't stand out there. I mean, they're out there in parkas, but that wind is whipping. But nice fresh air. Here I am, back in the good old US of A. It's always strange to come back here though. It's just hard to explain. It'd take me an hour to explain what's strange about it.